welcome to Apex eSports League. Tonight we have the final round of the Lake Edge V8 Supercar Championship for Project Cars 2 on the PS4. And for tonight's final round we are at Bathurst Mount Panorama. So it is being the final round. We only have the one final race, so a longer endurance race for the drivers tonight, and we do have a full grid, so it should be quite exciting action over the mountain. So we'll be heading off in just momentarily into a 15-minute practice. Game time is 9 o'clock, weather is heavy cloud, then we've got a 15-minute qualifying session, weather is medium cloud to light cloud, and then the final race is 30 laps. So we start off with light cloud, progress through to medium cloud to clear, and there is a mandatory pit. So for the championship leader, we only just have Corby 387 leading by 3 points. Gallon 350 sitting behind Corby, and Weaven 777 another 20 points behind Gallon. So for these three drivers tonight, which are excuse me, all here, they are contesting for the championship. So it will be some fierce action between these three, so there is also a prize up for grabs as well. So this last week we saw Gallon 350 take a victory in the sprint race, and then Corby 387 take a victory after qualifying second in the main race. We did have some penalties given out as well, so Zero copped a 30-point penalty and Vert Wheeler a 60-point penalty, so there are some adjustments to points there. So over into pit lane now. Missing one of our regular drivers, so a reserve driver has jumped in with us. And that is his debut race with us as well. So that's Gina07. He does race with the other guys in other groups, and so it'll be good to see him performing with the rest of the guys. Check out our championship leader, and who is Corby. Looks like just had a disconnect, possibly. Let's see if it brings up. Oh, Gallon's disconnected. So hopefully Gallon can get back in. He doesn't want to be having some connection issues. He has a strong shot at the championship. He's definitely keen to grab a win for this one. There was some friendly ribbing going on between him and Corby in the lobby, and also on our Facebook group as well. We'll work out the cars. So Gina is in car number 1. Hopefully Gallon can get reconnected shortly. Skitty made it back for us, so we got matching team colours fighting, going down the mountain. Oh, and a big slide through Forest Elbow for Skitty. And someone sounds like someone's coming up around. It looks like it's Demon Effects. And narrowly avoiding Skitty's car. Demon's car. Not yet seen Gallon reconnect. So I'll have a look and just see who we have that can still take a possible podium finish. So coming in 4th is a 0143, so he's got 286 points. So for a clean sweep tonight, 145 points is available. So that's taking pole position in qualifying, taking a victory for the race, then also taking fastest lap. So it's 120 points being the final race for the victory. So it's double that of what they would normally receive in the main race or race 2 of each round precluding up to this one. So D-Train's currently on 186 points, so sitting 8th on the ladder. So just ahead is Fritz Skinya, Rooney and Demon Effects. So 0 is 286 points, and Weave and 777's on 380 points. So they'll be fighting for a position on the podium. 0 usually is a very strong driver, but Wheeler's taken a fair bit of damage already. Not sure where he may have taken that damage. He'd run off in the chase. He's decided to bring that car back for repairs rather than resetting the car into the pits. He's going to do a burnout for us nicely. They do need to be cautious. Speeding in pits in practice does potentially run the risk of copping a 1 grid place penalty as well. Small string. Oh, big hit by Mersey Blue. I think that was at McPhillamy Park where he hit that there. So, getting a bit of a glitch going on. Gallen is back in. He's got 10 minutes to get some practice going. So first time's now coming on the board. Thanks for joining us, Strasbourg. For those that are joining the stream, be sure to use the chat controls. I can see the chat. Use the sound effects down below. You can do various amusing sound effects, cheers, boos, bangs and clangs. So you can cheer on your favourite drivers. And if you're new to us, be sure to hit that follow button. And you can see our social media links all down on the bottom of the stream on the screen. You can follow us at the Facebook page to get all race results and incident reports. Oh, a very nice line through the S's for Sweat Ridge. Some very quick pace. Nice line through Forest Elbow, a little bit of a slip. He put that throttle down a little bit early, but he pulled that around just in time. And what speed he's getting going down Conrod? Should be 288. I think we'll see him top 289, or 293. That was a very quick straight for Sweat Ridge. Nice line down through the chase as well. This should be a pretty good opening time for Sweat Ridge. And I've just been disconnected from the session, which is lovely. I can't actually change, so I'm going to have to sit and watch Sweat Ridge just for a moment while I rejoin the session. Even have to re-invite myself back in. Okay, and I am back now. So far, we're hoping Sweet Ridge could have been out on track doing some stuff for us while it was stuck on his screen while I had to wait for my game to reload back up. I'm probably going to have to send myself a lobby invite as a backup, I think, in the future. I'll just jump in and get one of the guys to send me an invite. So a 1:59 being the quickest time so far, that's pretty decent. And a 0 with a 2:01. I was mentioning before, he is a big contender for a spot on the podium. I don't think he's got enough to be able to get a win, unless our top three perform quite badly. Let's have a look. So 286 points, he's got to beat 403, and then he's 145 up for grabs. So it could be done, potentially. But it'd most likely be if our top threes finish last or disconnect, so hopefully none of that happening. We're only getting that car sideways going up Mountain Straight, trying to get some warmth from them tyres. So a few 2:01s, so some pretty good times so far. And a couple of 2:02s at some very fast pace over the mountain. So there is 1.5 second difference between Sweet Ridge and 0. So far out of our three contenders for the win. Corby's sitting in 4th. Gallen with 9th. Weaven's yet to get a time on the board. When we did have the Bathurst challenge, we saw Weaven perform very well in the longer stint of the Bathurst challenge. So you can probably expect some good things from Weaven tonight. I can't remember how he qualified for it, but he did move up the ranks and then hold position over the long run. I think it was a victory in the end for the last race. So don't forget to hit that follow button as well. And you can be notified of any of our broadcasts. This is the final round for the V8 Supercars, but next week we do have the GT3 series starting. It is a 4-round series. It's a little bit shorter than our usuals of being 5 rounds. Well, it's just to wrap up, as the last round will be Christmas Eve, so we'll have a little break of a week or two over the Christmas period. Fritz yet to get a time on the board, and then Weaven's just got a time. He's just come in for 2:04. The first 12 on the board, only a difference of 6 seconds. That's pretty tight. Over to Simo. He's come through for 2:20. Had Burt Wheel and Jana 07 have their times invalidated, so they've just run off. Gallen's car's showing a fair bit of front end damage. He has taken a hit at some stage. A little bit slippery going up through the cutting. So a little bit of slip coming up Griffin Mount as well. It's probably on cold tyres potentially. Track temps would be reasonably cool at the moment. Game session time started at 9 AM and it's heavy cloud. Not a lot of sun, as you can see in the background. Oh, a couple of hits. Oh, and that looks like, I think, is that Trex or D-Train? That's D-Train's car. Took a big hit through the cutting. really pushing the car. Looked like it. Ooh, he definitely had a strange gear shift that seemed to have put him in the wall just before McPhillamy Park. Almost going wide over Skyline. That car would definitely be having a few issues at the moment. Drivers have 85 seconds now left to finish up last laps. D-Train's car's a bit bruised and battered. And just ahead of him is a Zero. Wait, Ridge's time of a 1:59. Very hard to try and beat by the looks of this. 1.5 seconds difference between first and second times. That is quite a gap. Can Sweat Ridge repeat this for the qualifying session? Track temperatures should be a little bit better. In-game time will be 10 AM and starting with medium cloud and then progress to light cloud. Track temperatures will increase towards the end of the session. We should see some quicker lap times. Here's Fritz Skinner finishing up his last one. And we are done. So we have the practice session. Sweat Ridge 3103 coming in for the quickest time of 1:59.679. That is a very quick time. We did have Rooney just come through in that last lap. He's now just brought the difference between the top two times to just under a second. So he's come through with a almost 2-minute flat. So it'll be interesting to see how they go in the next session. And I'm going to have to go and jump in and push on the other controller, so I'll be back in a second. And we are now back. So usually I can control everything from where I'm sitting in the race director's view. But since I did get disconnected from this console, I haven't had that tech issue before. It's usually the broadcasting PS4 that has the issue. And it's actually down the other end of the house. I now have to go and hit continue on the screen for that. So after the qualifying session, before we head into the next one, I'll have to do the same again. Rooney coming through with a nice last lap. Quite tidy. Rooney coming up right on Simo Simpson's car, I think that is. Ooh, and he broke. That was a nice pass. Rooney gets through nice and tidy. And is all on cold tyres as well. Simo definitely would have got some extra heat in, locking it up. Coming down into Forestell though. Like he didn't take a hit to the wall. Usually a lock up there can tend to put you straight into that wall and you don't make the corner. A bit of traffic on pit straight at the moment. Oh, that's, I think that may be Gallen. Right behind Skiddy. Oh, and Skiddy goes off. Just check and see if that is Gallen. I think Gallen has these red mirrors. Oh, takes out the sides. Oh, and then the green car's disappeared. The D-Train gets around Mersey Blue and Skiddy. He's flying up Mountain Straight. He's on some good pace, I think. A little bit slippery. I'll jump on board with D-Train. Very nice line. Oh, and hug that wall very tight. Nice line over Skyline. Gets that car lifted as he goes down the S's. Oh, a very big drop down the dipper that nearly put him into the wall, which would have been disastrous for him. Very different line going down into Forest's elbow. You want to get that car over to the right just before then. You can almost get quite flat foot. So 289. So I think the Sweat Ridge we watched earlier in the practice session. About 293, it's most likely to fuel loads, I would assume. Hopefully Sweat Ridge manages to keep his fuel. We did see him run out of fuel just before the finish line, just before. That was a 202, that was a quick lap indeed. D-Train was flying at this in that first sector. The light's gone. That's Bert Wheeler just ahead of him. Sweat Ridge come through with an almost 2-minute flap. We did see him break the 2-minute mark. Can he do it again? But a 2-minute flap will be nice to potentially hold a pole position for the race. We still have all drivers, no disconnects. It would be disastrous if we get a disconnect during the qualifying. Nice camera spot as he flies past McPhillamy Park down into the S's. This is going to be a very good lap for Sweat Ridge. We get some sector time data as he finishes sector 2. The sector 2 is the mountain. Oh, slide through Forest Elbow. No, that's ended badly for him. He'll need to bring that car in. That's taken a bit of damage, I think. Weaven, who is one of our top contenders for a championship win. Can he be taking home the prize of the V8 Supercar Champion coffee mug, which is proudly sponsored by the series sponsor for this series, which is Lake Edge Holiday Units, as you can see down the bottom of the screen. Also testing for that prize is Corby 387. He's right up the tail of Demon Effects. He could use this to his advantage going down Conrod. He can get some extra pace. He's going to be slightly off the line. Can he get in on time? He's going to let him get in. Oh, that's just pushed Demon Effects off. That's going to be drastic. Where is he going to re-enter? Luckily he slid out in the litter. Oh no. He didn't go around. He was hoping. Oh, and he's made contact. That is most likely going to invalidate the lap. And that's put him in a slide. I think that was going to be a very quick lap. Could have potentially gone around and avoided that, so that was unfortunate for Corby. That'll see him get back out. Zero's now up into third position. Well, there's a car stopped. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Rooney or Sweat Ridge? Not sure. I think it was Rooney's car. I think, yes, he's in the same cars. To Dirty, I think we jumped over to Dirty in the practice session here, and that is Fritz Escania just coming around Hill Corner. Hopefully these guys move over to Fritz. they'll be on cold tyres and this lap's not going to count for them. There's 7 minutes remaining of qualifying. Gallon 350 needs to try and push that pace a little bit more. If he can shave a second off that, he can move up a couple of spots. A little bit offline for the S's. Can he fix this up back through the dipper? Nice and tight on that wall, a bit of a scrape. I'm not sure if that's invalidated his time, but it's definitely cost him a second, I think. He's not going to have some good speed coming out of there. It'll be interesting to see what his fuel load's like. You don't want to go too light on fuel around here. You don't want to have to be coming in and refueling or resetting the car as you'll be going back out on cold tyres each time. You want enough weight that it holds the car down. Bit of a hit for the wheeler, and usually a lot of times in the game when you take some hits to the walls it usually does a fair bit of damage, but these closer technical ones where you more just scrape the walls, you can take a few hits before the game actually gives you performance impacting damage. However, a wall hit will invalidate the lap that they're on for qualifying. That means they will have to get back around again. They may not have taken any damage. As now with only 5 minutes remaining and looking at an average of 2 minutes 4 for a lap, it's only going to give you one opportunity for a semi-warm tyre lap. It takes a couple of laps to get these tyres up to heat to be able to really push those strong times. We've had a change in times at the top, so Terex has come through with a 2 minute .913. So Sweetridge still holding pole position time. He's not up to pace as to what he was in that practice session, which track temps at the moment should be much higher than it was in the practice. I had to jump over and ask them to invite. They were mentioning that they thought it was going to be warm. The track temps were rather low at that time. That wheel is sitting on a 205. They found there's 12.7 second difference between the field. We saw Rooney come through with a very quick one, and he's currently got the slowest time, so he's struggling in the qualifying session. Let us know in the chat who you think's going to have pole position, who's going to win the race, who you think's going to win the championship. That's Colby, Gallen and Weaven, and then potentially a zero, just depending on how bad it goes for our top three. They are all the ones fighting to take the champion status of this series. Ooh, wall contact by Rooney. The drivers will be able to get a couple more laps in. Oh, very out of focus camera shot coming into Griffin's Bend. Triky's on cold tyres there, some slower pace going up into the cutting. Nice line up through, through Griffin Mount, Quarry's Mount. Oh, and a zero's come flying up behind. He's going to try and get round Gina. Oh, zero. So D-Trains has stolen the second position. He's come through with the 2 minutes, but then Sweetridge has broken that 2 minute mark. So at the same time, come through for 1:59.340. I think he was 1:59.2 in the practice session from memory. So he's on par. Zero's a little bit off pace now. Let's allow Demon Effects to shoot on through. So drivers, they can wrap this lap up. They should get enough time to get another lap around. Current drivers in the pits won't have an opportunity to do that. We have Sweatridge, D-Train, Terex, Weaven and Mersey Blue in the pits at the moment. Not sure if that may have been what the Zero's doing to potentially be able to tuck in behind Demon Effects, use a bit of a slipstream advantage. Oh, we've got some weird stuff going on with Mersey Blue's car. That was some very strange glitching going on. Hopefully it doesn't disconnecting at this stage. You won't have time to get back in. And then won't see him make it to the grids for the race. Jump on board with a Zero. Very nice line coming up out of the cutting. Beating his time coming through Sector 1. This could beat his 2:01. Only needs a shave 0.2 of a second off, and he can be starting up several positions. Or he's not going to be happy with that. No, he's just cost himself there. There was a bit of debris scattered across the track. So you can see some marbles scattered. Oh, bad line. It's put him off. We'll get sector data here in a second as he crosses into Sector 3. The Sector 3 marker is here. Yeah, so he's well off pace now, unfortunately, for a Zero. We have a Gallon. Our main contenders, Corby, Weaven and Gallon. I'm not sure what's going on here. We're not getting Gallon's car at all. He must have stopped up there. He's decided to do some burnouts. Usual smoke shows for Gallon at the finish lines. Drivers are wrapping up their last laps. They've got 130 seconds left to get this lap done. So Fritz is coming into the chase. He's got time to wrap this lap up. Didn't sound real quick down into the chase. Nice through Murray's. Will this improve his time? It did improve his time. I don't think it moved him up a spot. So starting from pole position for the final race, we have Sweatridge 3:1:03. Rooney starting from second, D-Train starting from third, followed by Trex, Corby, Weaven, Zero, Skiddy, Gallon, Fritz, Bertie, Demon Effects, Bert Wheeler, Mersey Blue, Simo Simsel, and Gina 07. So there's only 9 seconds separating the field. We saw about 12 seconds in the first session, so it's much better timings in this qualifying session. I'm not sure if that's just because of a little bit extra practice or the increase in track temperatures. The track temperatures will have increased as we head over into the race, so I'll leave you momentarily with me not speaking as I go and get this race started into the next section. I am back, so drivers now have 2 minutes to get their setups ready and ensuring that their pit strategies are all set up as well. Drivers, we're talking about the usual glitches that happen when things aren't set quite right, and the game does actually generally stuff it up as well. They don't always change the tyres, and it's going to be a necessity here. You don't want to have to be trying to do another lap, as we had T-Rex last week go through and not get the tyres changed after the pits, and he was struggling with that car towards the end of the race. So once all drivers have hit that ready button, the game will sync and be ready to go. Sweatridge and Rooney starting from the front. It looks like we got almost matching team colours down the grid. So we got the white and green and the grey cars at the back. And if it wasn't for Weaven's position there, we'd have the following two blue cars. Not often you see a tidy mix of colours like that. And drivers had found having the same team colours caused issues with the pits. You had Gallen in one of the races have an issue because of that, as he was waiting for the other car to use the pits. There we go, 3, 2, 1, lights are green and off we go. A nice start so far. Sweatridge gets away quite cleanly. There's a little bit of movement going on at the back. Looks like Vert Wheeler and Simo Simsel avoiding each other. Rooney goes off wide into Hill Corner. Oh, and there's a bit of an accident at the back of the field. Not sure who that was at the back that spun out. I think it may have been Mersey's car. But Sweatridge is leading, pushing that gap out. Rooney's not going to be backing off just yet. And they are flying up through Griffins so far, looking pretty clean. Not uncommon. Oh, there's a big hit by Sweatridge. That's going to and another second hit. That hasn't spun him out. I think there would definitely be some suspension damage to that front right at the moment. Thanks for joining us, Xavier. So you're calling it for Corby. If he gets a win here tonight, it will definitely be him taking the championship home. And another wall hit for Sweat. This is going to be detrimental to his car in the long run. 30 laps over the mountain. He's going to have to look at considering to bring his pit stop in a little bit earlier, as aero damage to the car over the course of 15 laps. If he's going to try and pit halfway through the race, he's not going to be getting a very nice speed. So we saw him getting in the practice, getting up to 294, so there is a big difference in fuel load at the moment, but he could, if he's got aero damage, that car over the long run could cost him a second going down Conrod. Pretty tidy so far. We have D-Train take a nice inside pass through Murray's corner. So Rooney's, I'm not sure what's going on with Rooney's car, so he's given away that position, but then he's made contact into, that's Corby. So he's made contact. And Corby's going to have to sit there and try and get that car back on safely. That's cost him drastically. Not sure what was going on with his car. Gallen's been in to the pits as well, so not sure if he's taken damage from there. But that's our first two leaders of the championship. Now seen towards the back of the field. And I did mention Azuro was next in line if they don't get any points. Could potentially steal a spot on the podium. So despite those hits, another big broad slide again. I think it's the same spot where, that's locking the car up. I think Sweatridge has got way too much performance impacting damage to this car at the moment. He's probably going to have to bring this car in, I think. That's allowed D-Train to get ahead. We had D-Train win the championship for our Bathurst Challenge as well. We saw some superb driving by him throughout that short series. Oh, and we've got Sweat Ridge ducking out for an inside pass. Sweat Ridge just gets into... Sorry, has D-Train just get back in front of him in time. Oh, Fritz is out. Not sure what happened to you, Fritz. So, new race lead, D-Train, and then Sweat Ridge has got a battered car. He's really struggling for that car already, just in the first 3 laps. Big difference in fuel loads between the two. The D-Train's running only 41 litres. We had 108 litres run by Sweat Ridge. Perhaps those wall hits into just that car. Yeah, and he's done it again. That extra weight, he may have just been a little bit too comfy with the lighter weight that he was running around in practice. So D-Train is starting to get away on him. Oh, and we've had another different car drop out as well. Who have we lost? Mersey Blues out. 2 casualties already. Oh no, that's terrible, Fritz. Down to 14 cars now. D-Train's pushing that lead out to 1.5 seconds almost. We've been doing well for a spot at the championship currently. He's moved up into 3rd position. Zero is closing in very quickly. Trying to see where Corby's sitting in 9th position, still sees 12 seconds behind. We got hit when we saw Rooney over. He's into the pits as well, so we've had Rooney have to move over offline down pit straight early, and then end up having him get in the road of Corby, and they took a hit. So he's got some catching up to do. And he is only leading the championship by 3 points. It is some big points available for tonight's race. Over another 26 laps, he can definitely catch up some more ground for sure. He had some good pace shown in the practice and qualifying. I'm projecting possibly Weaven or D-Train will take a win here. So from seeing these two guys drive Bathurst, they are very strong. Weaven is quite good over the longer stint races for sure. We've seen him so far, even in the shorter races, he's been a very strong contender. He's come a long way with handling these machines. Trax is doing currently alright in 5th position. Oh, Corby's just received a penalty. That would be a slowdown most likely. So it's only 1 second. So not going to hurt him over the course of 30 laps, I'm pretty sure. So he's needing to get past Vert Wheeler at the moment. Vert Wheeler goes wide off in Murray's corner. Corby probably having flashback moments here yet again. This is where it all went bad for him last time. He gets through nicely, gets past Vert Wheeler. So he's still in 9th position. He's got some catching up to do. And he's sporting a bit of damage, so I think that's why we're seeing Vert Wheeler keeping that pace on the straight. And the Zero is still fighting to try and catch back up with Weaven 777. Out the rest of the field. Demon Effects and Dirty fighting for position 7 at the moment. And Skiddy's just ahead of them as well. Oh, there's almost wall contact. That was flat out. Brings that car just a little bit short off the line as he approaches McPhillany. Nice line over Skyline, beautifully down through the S's. A lot more pace over Birdie through the top of the mountain and then going down as well. That's some brilliant driving by Demon Effects. It's going to see him get away nice and quick going on to Conrod. Corby starting to get away a little bit over Vert Wheeler. Gallen currently coming second in the championship. He's taken a fair bit of damage. I don't think his car looked that damaged when we saw him coming out of the pits before, so he's taken another hit. He just needs to ensure he gets some points on the board. Just got to at least get that car across the line. But I'm sure he'll be able to try and recover over the next 25 laps. So we're getting a little bit of space in between the drivers at the moment. The Zero is still trying to close that gap in on Weaven. D-Train has furthered his lead out to almost 3.5 seconds. Ooh, a little bit of a slip as he starts going up into the cutting. He doesn't want to get too relaxed out there yet. Needs to keep pushing that car and try and further that lead. See, Sweat Ridge is still struggling with that car. Oh, another big hit. There's going to be some significant issues with that car now. He may have to just accept to try and get that car in and get it repaired. And see some marbles track. That's going to make it a little bit slippery. Already some rubber laid down through Forest Elbow. There's been a few lockups already. So I'll check out the back of the field. China 07, a fair bit of damage being shown to his car at the moment. He's taken some big hits. Not sure if he's been into the pits yet or not. Because once they've taken damage and had it repaired, the car doesn't reset the visuals for it. It only just sticks bonnets and wings back on. And we had something going on with Rooney's car at the start of the race, only just a few laps to go. Yeah, Fritz Demon's been racing amazingly throughout the series. Saw him do some fantastic driving in the night stint at Dubai as well. It was some spectacular passes and moved up the lines quite quickly. And sitting at mid-pack at the moment for Demon is pretty good at this stage of the race over a course of 30 laps. So Simo locks it up coming down into the chase. But we're starting to slip behind Bertie and Corby. Sweat Ridge. It's dropped down a little bit more. That car's well beaten up now. Yeah, it's not performing nicely at all. go on board with him. He's taken another hit. That car he needs to bring that car in for sure. He needs to get that stop. You can't see too much in the chase here. He keeps trying to drive this car as it is. He's going to lose some more spots regardless. So if he can try and pit it in, he's probably going to try and push it out until about 10 laps. And then get that pit done and potentially the last 20 laps is probably what I'm assuming he's considering. He could probably get it around for another 3 laps while it's wounded. Just so long as he does not cause an issue for another car. That would be very upsetting for them. We did see that happen to Corby just earlier. The Zeros really closed that gap in on Weaven 777. Yeah, his car was definitely pulling to the right, and it was all right-hand walls that he was hitting. Yeah, Sweet Ridge is in the pits now. This will probably be a lengthy pit stop for him. So if he can make a set of tyres last 22 laps, if he swaps out for some hards, it probably could be done. It'll come down to pit strategies being the key to victory here. Look at D-Train, he has now got a 7.6 second lead on the race already, only 8 laps in. So I think usually it adds about 20 seconds to a lap for a pit stop here. And that's for a quick change of tyres, no repairs, off you go. So if you can push this lead out, he's already 8 laps with 8 seconds. If you can push that out to 16 seconds by the time he's on lap 16, he could potentially almost be getting into the pits, getting his change done and then getting back out without losing a position. Zero breaking that slipstream. He was looking to potentially make a pass on Conrad, but breaking that stream saw him pull back. It'd be nice if I was getting sector data just to see who's getting the quickest sector times at the moment. So laps just done then. Weaven set a 204.480 and Zero set a 204.226. So much quicker pace on that last lap. That's why you can see him right on the tail of Weaven at the moment. Weaven will be having a bit of stress on him at the moment, seeing his big bonnet in his mirrors. A little bit of a lock-up. I think that was Weaven blocking that rear left tyre coming into the cutting. But Weaven has pulled away a fair bit. That looks like Weaven's... Oh, it's really pushed that through Reed Park. Scraped the wall and there's a car off. That's Simo Simsel's car. That's caused Weaven and a Zero to dodge it. A Zero nearly going off track. That could have been disastrous for the two of them. It would have destroyed any chance of having a strong finish in the race. Oh, big broad slide by Zero, spinning that around. Who's coming up? He's got plenty. Oh, he backed it into the wall. It's going to hurt him. And then the nose as well. So Weaven has some breathing space now. That's now just put out 11 seconds over him and a Zero. Not sure how hard of a hit that's done for him. We can't see a buckled bonnet. Is there any steering issues going on for him? Don't think so. He's got some catching up to do now. So we have T-Rex closing in on Skiddy at the moment. Corby's now moved back up into 7th position. Gallen's in 9th. We did see Gallen get down to the back of the field, so he's recovered nicely as well. Corby and Gallen need to move up the ranks a fair few more yet. And Skiddy, has Skiddy peeled off? No, that's Corby. I think that's just gone into the pits. Yes, Corby's just gone back into the pits. Not sure what's going on for Corby. So we have T-Rex now honing in on Skiddy. Well, there's a little bit of space between. We'll see what the deal is with the timings. Fastest lap so far looks to be D-Train, a 2:02.539, I think is the fastest time. I've got to scroll down. You guys get to see the entire screen. So yes, D-Train does have the fastest lap. So he's running a race on his own at the moment. Oh, wall hit coming into the cutting for T-Rex. I don't think it's affected his car. As I mentioned before, you can take a couple of hits before it does any performance impacting. So we don't have mechanical failures for this, so it won't kill the cars completely. It does give them an opportunity to get the cars back to the pits. So these guys currently 32 seconds behind the leader. D-Train currently sitting 10 seconds ahead. He seems to be gaining about a second a lap. Can T-Rex look at making a move on Skiddy? He gets a nice line out of Forest Elbows, which he has. Could potentially catch up to Skiddy going down Conrod. Not going to be enough to be able to make a passing move, but he could potentially line himself up in the chase or on the exit of the chase. Down he comes, locking that rear left. That's cost him some time, so not a nice line to come out of the chase. And there's a Zero peeling off into the pits. T-Rex also heading off into the pits, so 10 laps in. And they're doing first pits. I'm not sure if they started on softs, so it's custom setups for the cars. We'll keep an eye on Zero's lap time when he comes out. A lot of space between the cars at the moment. No battles for a while. We might jump on board for a blistering lap with D-Train. He is doing some amazing pace. I think he's catching up to Gallen at the moment. The D-Train's going to have to pit this lap. I think get about 5 litres to a lap around here. He's going to be definitely looking at the gauges, a little bit off pace as well. Now he's starting to catch up with some back markers who are also usually pretty good with... Oh yeah, Sweaty's done a 2. He has 2, so he's come through with fastest lap now. And he's clearing it with the amount of damage he's done. After getting that car fixed, he's come back out and nailed a 2 minute, almost 2 minute flat, just under 2 minutes 1. Sorry, yes, yeah, 2:0987. Bad thing for D-Train at the moment as well. That car's going to be very light and quite flighty around some of these corners. He's going to have to be really feathering that throttle, and as you can see, that lap was a 2:05, so his pace is dropping. So he's going to be fighting with that car quite a fair bit. And I think that's Gina and Gallen at the moment. It's going to slow. Oh, the giant has moved over. Nice. So he's not going to be stuck too long. Yeah, I think Sweet Ridge can definitely try and catch some ground up. Weaven's now in the pits as well. Zero's last lap of 3:11 with the pit stop, so he's had some damage to repair, so that would have been the reason why. So Weaven with his pit lap time at 2:26. Yes, we're seeing about 20-25 seconds, and that could have been with some fuel. And he's side by side with Sweat Ridge. So he's now reclaim back into 5th position. Oh, that's a big slide by both of them. Can Weaven, oh, he's just brought that car back in. Oh, that's the wrong car. That could have gone badly. That could have been a complete wreck for him going into Griffin's Bend. Going now, honing in on Vert Wheeler. And Vert's car showing a fair bit of damage there. That front bar's flapping about wildly. D-Train's now in the pits. It's pushing that car. How much fuel? So 1.2. So we're seeing about 4.8 litres of fuel to a lap. Demon Effects currently in 2nd. He's now coming in for his mandatory pit. So he's got a few scrapes as well, but his car's looking pretty good otherwise. Drivers need to be cautious to bring that car up to 60 k's before entering the pit area as well. Otherwise they can cop a 10-second penalty if they're going too quick. Can be a disconnect as well. Bertie moves up the line. I can't remember if we've already seen Bertie. Well, we've just lost another car as well, who's just left. One's disconnected, so someone may have retired. And g'day for your question for the standings in champ points. So Corby 387 sitting on 403 points, Gallen 350 on 400. Weaven 777 on 380, and Zero 143 is on 286. So Demon Effects then drops down to 216. So the main contenders for the win is Corby, Gallen and Weaven. So at the moment they're not doing too strongly, our championship leaders. However, the cars that are ahead of them pose no threat to the championship. I think we've lost a Zero. That's the car that we have lost. Yes, we've lost a Zero. So we've lost 3 cars from a full grid at the start. So far, Gallen needs to get ahead of Corby if he is to take over in the championship. Can't recall what their qualifying positions was. There's points available for qualifying. So a qualifying position could be enough to tip the scales for him, as Corby's only leading by 3 points. But Gallen, to catch up on Corby's got fair bit of time to try and catch up. He's got about 13 seconds to try and catch up. So Skiddy's leading the race at the moment. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need to pit. I don't think he's been in. You'll probably see him pit in the next couple of laps. Cars are spacing out a fair bit, but he's just about 3 seconds behind Skiddy at this stage. Sweet Ridge has moved back up into 4th position now. We're currently setting last lap, still fastest. So we'll bring up timings. And Weaven's couple of 10-second penalties for speeding into the pits. That could be costly to him. The Sweat Ridge, yes, definitely fastest lap of the race, is now a 2:373. He can definitely reclaim. He's only 7 seconds. Ooh, wall hit again. And another one. We spoke too soon for Sweat. He doesn't want to have to bring that car back in for another stop to get repairs done. He's fine for fuel. He doesn't want to have to try and contend with 16 laps of the car performing like it was just for him before. It just wanted to keep pulling over to the right. I don't think it's done any performance damage at this stage. It's probably just some aero damage. He's coming up to some back markers now. It's Vert Wheeler just ahead of him. That's currently on lap 13. Sweat Ridge will need to get around. Verty is now catching up to Mr. D-Train. Closing that gap in the chase. D-Train. Oh, I think that's Sweat Ridge in the background who's just had a big spin coming down through the chase. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be able to continue on with that car with a front hit like that into that tyre wall. Would have been doing 280. Is he going to bring in? Yes. Can he get that car back in? He managed to catch it up pretty quick over a few laps. If he's too quick, it'll DQ him coming into there. I don't think it has. No, he's fine. The D-Train has an opportunity now to get back ahead. He's got to also remember he does not probably have to get around Skiddy too quickly. And Skiddy will need to pit, so he's probably going to pit this lap. Bring up to see what the difference in fuel. He's going to have to consider pitting in the next few laps anyway. He hasn't been in the pits yet, so he still needs to serve that mandatory pit. Ooh, coming through McPhillamy side by side. Meeks just in front, coming over Skyline. That was a brilliant pass by D-Train. Skiddy a little bit offline, a bit too quick down into the S's, almost puts it into the wall before the dipper. Oh, and nearly gets that car broad. What weight has he got in that car? It's not a bad weight to finish this lap off. Sorry, the race, so the remaining 15 laps. It should be a nice weight to push that car around and get some decent speed out of it as well, without being too compromised by having too much of a flighty car towards the end, which we saw him starting to slow that pace off quite a fair bit in the last few laps when he was down to his last 5 litres of fuel. So he's now 2 seconds ahead. I think we'll be seeing Skiddy potentially go in the pits. Yes, he's peeling off into the pits. So now Bertie will come through and take second position. And I think we've seen Bertie pit. He's got enough fuel to get through. So can he catch up those almost 6 seconds to get onto the tail of D-Train and potentially take a win here at the mountain? Demon Effects as well, quietly been climbing the ranks. He's now up into 4th position. So we'll see him move into 3rd. Skiddy's still in the pits. So Demon Effects looking nice at the moment for a podium. He's 15 seconds behind position 2 at the moment. Birdie's well ahead of him at this stage. Ooh, and T-Rex and Corby are fighting for position 5. And T-Rex coming out of Murray's corner a lot quicker, very quick down pit straight. Yeah, if Birdie's pitting, then he'll definitely drop some spots. T-Rex gets around Corby. Some very quick pace up Mountain Straight. Griffin's Bend was a very nice line by the two. Trex locks that front left coming into the cutting. We've got Gallen and Weaven close to each other at the moment. Our three top contenders at the moment are following each other. So Corby in 5th, Weaven in 6th, Gallen in 7th. It looks like Weaven's pulling away a little bit over Gallen. It was a very nice line through Gallen. Really just comes close to the wall coming out of Forest Elbow. I'm not sure if that damage we're seeing is this residual from when he pitted last. We got Corby, our championship leader. He's currently sitting in 5th. I'm not sure if Demon Effects has been into the pits either, and if Dirty hasn't pit, but we'll see Corby, Weaven and Gallant move up. Oh, there's a bit of a ghosting going on. I'm not sure who's behind there. Is that... I think that might have been Bert Wheeler's car, yes. He's taken a big hit coming into the cutting. So he's lost his bonnet. It looks like that front and rear bar is flapping about as well. Yeah, that car's going to be performing quite badly at the moment. So D-Train now leading by 17 seconds, almost 18. 30 and Demon need to pit. It'll be in the next laps or so, I would assume. I can't recall seeing T-Rex head into the pits either. Lock that up coming down to the S's. That could have been quite dire for him. Very nice line coming down into Forest Elbow. Can he keep it up? And he comes quite tidy. Yes, the birdie's into the pits now. He just took out a cone as well. So a few time penalties on the board. 3 cars with time penalties. So when there is red on that number, they've taken a time penalty. So Sweatridge also back into the pits again. He's got a fair bit of damage. He's missing that front bar and bonnet. So it's refreshed those back onto his car. Big opportunity for D-Train now. So he's only 12 laps away from finishing the race. And he currently has 25-second lead over Demon Effects. Oh, who's that? Is that Skiddy's car? Yeah, that's Skiddy's car. D-Train gets around okay. Simo Simsel's also coming up behind him. Looks like Skiddy's got quite a wounded car at the moment. Yeah, it's... Oh, it could be drastic coming down into the S's. Simo just gets around in time. Skiddy nearly ran straight through the chicane and then collected Simo's side. That would have been bad for the two of them. Not sure what's going on with Skiddy's car. He's really struggling to keep that car. It's pulling to the right. That car did not want to turn into Forest Elbow. He's going to have to bring that car in, I think. Purdy to C2 Telstra for some slow internet speeds. We didn't have enough bandwidth for the stream at that point, but we are back up and running. Hopefully we didn't miss too much action while trying to get that back up and running. So D-Train doing well, last lap of 2:03. Straight Ridge has got that car back out on track. He's currently in 12th. He's got some time to try and recover some positions. It's not going to be as strong as he was just doing. I'm still trying to gauge as to whether Demon needs to pit. I think he is. No. If he has pit, he's got a shot at the podium for sure. And Trex has been in the pits, so currently in a place for a spot on the podium as well with third. And our championship leaders are closing in as well. At the moment it'll be a battle to take out 4th position. Colby, Weaven and Gallen are only marginally apart in the championship. Colby finishes ahead of Weaven and Gallen. I'm pretty sure he's secured his win. Yes, and our debut driver with Apex eSports League, John 07, is in the top 10. And that would be residual damage from before. We saw him into the pits and get that fixed up before. Rooney has taken another hit as well, so he's lost his bonnet. We saw another car with a missing bonnet just early as well. Thanks Latte Spice. Yeah, if Demon Effects has pitted, then he's in a very good spot for us taking out 2nd position. D-Train would have to make quite a hasty mistake to lose that position in the race at the moment. We can keep this up. He's a little bit off pace, so his laps are slowing down a little bit again. He's got enough fuel to get the car back home by the looks of things. It was about 4 litres a lap. But that car's going to be quite flighty in the end. And here are our championship leaders, all ready for a fight. So there'll be some exciting stuff at the moment for these three. Weaving very quick down into the chase. He's got some big pace over Corby at the moment. Not enough to try and make a passing move just yet. He just needs to sit tight. He's doing a couple of duck and weaves. That's costing a little bit of time. Just sitting hot on Corby's tail would have been the best option at that stage. Then try and get a clean run through Hell's Corner and then pass him down the straight. And there is back markers. Also, that's Gina about to be lapped as well. So they do need to get around nice and clean. There's not going to be too many spots now as they approach Griffin's Bend. Oh, Weaven goes look for an inside pass. We saw him take a big slide there, a fair few laps back. There's not going to be many spots for him to be able to move over and let them get through nicely. Oh, he lets 1, 2 get through. That's nicely done. Gallen gets stuck behind. That's going to slow him up just a little bit. There's not going to be too many safe spots for him to actually move over. If Gallen gets around without losing him too much time, so Weaven still trying to close that gap back up on Corby. Oh, wall contact by the two of them and Gallen as well. He bounced that car. He's going way too quick then. Big hit in Reed Park. Who is quicker going down the mountain? Penalties so far. Corby's, I think, had a 1 second time penalty. Weaven had a 10 second. We'll quickly bring up the timings. The Corby's got 1 second, Weaven's got 10. So that can be beneficial to Gallen if they finish the race as close as they are at the moment. That will cause Weaven to drop a position. So for Weaven to get ahead of Corby, he then has to put another 9 second lead over him to accommodate for the time penalties the two have. So Gallen's objective now should be just to get as close to these guys as possible, not risk a passing manoeuvre, just possibly sit tight behind them. D-Train's now pushed out this lead to 42 seconds. Looks like Demon's taken a hit. That would be why. He's lucky he's had a bit of a gap between him and Terex, but that's some significant damage. I think he's struggling with the car at the moment, so he's possibly going to have to bring that in. That could be definitely costing him. D-Train's back in the pits again. He's got plenty of time to get back out on track. D-Train didn't run enough fuel. And these two are fighting for fourth position. Oh, who's just gone off by that? Simo. Oh, very good for Simo. He's pulled off in the S's to allow these guys through. Oh, big hit for Weaven and Gallen. I don't think it's affected their cars. Nice line through Forest by all three. They are a little bit spaced going down Conrad, so they're not going to be enjoying a good slipstream to be able to close that gap in too much. Fuel loads will probably be a big difference here. We saw Weaven catch up quite quickly coming into the chase. Ooh, Corby locks that wheel. Gets away a little bit quicker as that then balked Weaven. Ooh, he was contemplating making a move through Murray's corner. Ooh, and he does a nice wide out. But Corby tucks that car back in. This is going well. These guys, we saw Corby get taken out early on in the race, move back. Oh, we have side by side going up Mountain Straight. Who's going to give way as they come through in Griffin's Bend? Weaven gets ahead. And if Corby is seeing on his screen the 10-second time penalty, he knows it's not worth getting into a bingle with him and potentially costing the race for him by getting taken out, as he only has to sit 9 seconds behind Weaven and he will still steal that position away from Weaven. So at this rate, with Gallen, all he needs to do is to stay within 10 seconds of these two, and he will jump ahead up into fourth position as he crosses the line. The D-Train's pitted and been back out on track. He's only gotten fuel, so it's a 2 minute 13 last lap. Oh, I don't know if that was a little bit of a lag spike shown on Gallen's car. Oh, he's locked that up, coming down into Forest Elbow, offline, a little bit of wall scrape. I don't think that's going to hurt him too much, but it did cost him about a second of time. Weaven is getting ahead now. And now he does need to try and get 10 seconds ahead. Can he get 10 seconds ahead in 7 laps? with last lap set. I don't think that's possible. These guys' last laps were all in the 205s. Only 0.2 of a second difference between the three. Ooh, Corby's just weaved off to the side. He's got that front bar flapping. He's sporting some damage. Definitely slower through the corner. Gallen goes off wide, looking to try and make a pass. But it went off too much and lost some speed. This is where we saw Corby relinquish a spot. Will he have to do it again? Just so we can see the extent of the damage that he has. Oh yeah, he's struggling with his car. He's probably going to need to try and relinquish that spot, I think, otherwise he could end up taking himself and Gallen out potentially. It'll be a hard thing to do to move over and let him through. Oh, hit for Gallen. Nice line through Skyline for Corby. A little bit of an inside cut through the S's. Oh, Gallen I think's just gone off wide coming out of the dipper. Oh, locking it up into Forest L. That's going to put him in a slide. Oh, he's going to recover that time. Verdi gets around. Gallen's dropped the position. He was well offline. He didn't have that car. You've got to try and bring it over hard to the right, then get on those anchors, and then while that car is not dead straight, it can just slide that car through. That's cost him quite drastic, so he's now 8 seconds behind Weaven. There's a bit of damage to that car at the moment. Weaven needs to push out and get that 10-second lead on these guys. And this could see him take the championship potentially. And a brilliant drive by D-Train tonight. Has been phenomenal, staying out the front. Demon has done some brilliant driving as well. He's got Terex quickly catching up on him with 5 laps to go, and that wounded car, I think Terex is going to definitely potentially be making a pass in the next lap or two. The Demon's last lap was 6 seconds slower than Terex's last lap. If he's losing 6 seconds a lap from damages, he's definitely going to lose a couple of positions before this race is over. Sajana's now pitting. So he's done well to get that car to last out for 24 laps. It's probably been running hard. Terex gets past Demon FX. Demon's really struggling with that car at the moment. He pits now. He's going to lose lots of positions if he can get that car around wounded for another 4 laps. He should be fine. He shouldn't lose too many spots. He's got to work out whether 6 seconds a lap is going to be costing him, or if a quick 20-second pit stop. And then the other thing with taking slower laps, he now runs the risk of that car potentially not doing what it should be doing and causing an accident for himself, and then could cost him much more. Yeah, definitely doesn't want to turn at the moment. A fair bit of steering shudder going up pit straight, and that car's looking quite sluggish as well. If he can hold it and then keep a spot on the podium, he'll be doing quite well. He's definitely got a battle on his hands for the next 4 laps with this car. He's got another 6 seconds before Weaven catches up on him. In his last lap, he's made an improvement of 2 seconds. So Demon Effects did do a 2:12. He's now got it to a 2:10. Weaving last lap at 2:05. And with only 4 seconds between, another lap and Weaving will be passing him most likely. Weaving only leading by 6 seconds over Corby. He's got that 10-second penalty to try and get ahead. So we can allow 9 seconds as Corby's also sporting a time infringement penalty. So it's only 1 second. Skiddy's got 11 seconds on him. If I can go down and have a look myself. Yes, that's all that's left for times. Quite annoying on the broadcast screen, it doesn't show the entire screen for me. Sweat Ridge is catching up on Skiddy. Sweaty's car is looking like it's been through hell and back tonight. He's had some very bad luck. Doing some brilliant pace. Oh, and then Skiddy's gone for a slide. Sweaty's had to pull up for him to allow for it. He's going to let him get through. We might have to stop jumping over to Sweaty, I think. Each time we go over, something goes wrong for him in the race. And Weaving has now caught that 5-second gap up on Demon FX. Going to have to be cautious to try and get around Demon as well. And Weaving's pushed that lead to almost 8 seconds. As I was saying, he needs 9 to accommodate for his 10-second penalty and Corby's 1 second. Oh, that's not the spot to try and make a pass. Blue flag would be shown. Oh no, sorry, it wouldn't be shown. So they are fighting for this. Oh, Demon's made a big hit. Can Weaving get around in time? He just sneaks through. Just in time for Skyline. He's going to be a little bit offline and quite heavy pace coming down the S's, but he manages that quite well. Now this could be the opportunity for Weaving as well to try and push out that gap between him and Corby. As Corby now will be catching up to Demon as well. With 3 laps remaining for Demon, I don't think he's going to lose too many spots. So Skiddy's brought that car into the pits after that spin out in Forest Elbow. Look at the difference in points between, so far at this stage it's between Corby and Weaving getting bigger points for this race. Weaving's 23 points behind Corby. So at this stage Corby finishing in 5th could potentially still be okay, as Corby did qualify similarly to Weaving. Gallon's re-pitting. Not sure. Got fuel, so he must be having to do damages, I think. Oh, very blurry. Swap over to Bertie's car. Ooh, Bertie looking to get past Corby. Corby is dealing with some damage to this car as well. That's why we saw him drop position just before. Ooh, a wall scrape as well. That was coming out of Reed. With only a couple of laps to go, it could be in the best interest for Bertie to try and not make a risky pass. He's got 2 damaged cars ahead of him. He's going to have to pick this very cautiously. Not sure if that was a bit of oversteer as to why Corby came out on a different line. And he goes Birdie, making a pass. Can he take 1-2 out? No, not enough. These guys nice and tight down through the chase. Oh, side by side. Demons on the inside coming down to Murray's. Birdie has to tuck back in. Nice inside exit down onto pit straight. He's going to get past Demon, no problems there. Demon does not have that straight speed at the moment. Yes, Vert did drop back a fair bit from... Again, there is a big difference in lap times as well though, so that's a difference. Yeah, 10 seconds, yeah, so Vert must have gone off track. So Verty now looking to get... Oh, it's a bad line, he's going to spin back in. He almost went broad and got T-boned by Demon effects. That would have been drastic for the two of them. Verty now needing to try and take on Corby. Weaven's closing in on T-Rex as well. So I can safely say I think the race belongs to D-Train at this stage. So he's leading by nearly 32 seconds. Very tidy line coming down to the S's. Ooh, Corby's car locked it up into the dipper. Birdie got a much cleaner run down through the mountain. Oh, but he locked it up coming to Forest Elbow. That's where we saw Gallen going for a slide. Only 12 cars remain after starting with 16. Can Bertie look at making a pass through the chase? No, not enough speed. That car was shuddering quite heavy under braking coming into that corner. Colby's car still doing well considering it is wounded. So it's last lap. Gallen's dropped back down to 8th position. He's not going to be in a position to be able to take the championship. It's now between Weaven and Corby. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. Doing a restart now, Fritz. Call a restart on the last lap. Oh, Birdie is catching up here on Corby. And Weaven has managed to get that 10-second lead over Corby's. So he's going to be able to retain that position. He's now 13 seconds ahead. And he actually only needed 9 as Corby sporting a time infringement penalty as well. Bertie's wanting to have a crack. Corby needs to hold that position. As I think he did qualify ahead of Weaven. So doesn't want to drop too many positions. So Corby just needs to finish in 4th. He can probably afford to drop to 5th. I think he may still be able to take the championship win. Oh. Race is complete. There's D-Train has finished the race. Congratulations to D-Train. And T-Rex also coming up in 2nd position. Weaven's not too far behind. I think we're going to see potentially Bertie make a pass in the last couple of corners of the race. Oh no, he's struggling with that car at the moment. He's not going to get that position. So Terex has taken second. Weaven has taken third. And I think this is enough for Corby to keep the championship lead. He's finishing in fourth. Flash of the lights by Verty. So Corby drops because of a time penalty. So drops to fifth position. So Verty has taken fourth. Demon Effects manages to limp that car back around. He's dropped from second down to sixth. It's not too bad. Brilliant drive for Demon Effects tonight. And Rooney 9915 coming in seventh. 26 seconds for cars to get their last laps in. And then that will be it for the series, and we are done. There we have it, the final round of the Lake Edge V8 Supercar Championship, and we have Mr. D-Train Barbado take victory in the final race. So that isn't enough for him to get a position for a championship win, but a brilliant drive for the final round. He could potentially move up into possibly, I think, 6th or 7th position on the championship. But make sure to head over to our Facebook page to keep up to date with the results when they get out. So also on the podium we have Terex in second position and Weaven 777 taking third, Saberti in fourth, Corby in fifth, followed by Demon Effects, Rooney, Gallen, Gina, Bert Wheeler, Skiddy, Simo Simsel coming in 12th, so losing 4 cars to the mountain. So brilliant driving throughout the field. And then next week we start same time for Thursday night frames, so broadcast starts at 7:30. So we are actually running the Hamper HQ GT3 World Tour, so 4-round series, and there is a huge prize up for grabs. So a hamper full of booze and snacks and nuts to the value of $165. That'll be a brilliant prize to be able to land coming into Christmas and New Year's. So if you want to get involved in our racing, head over to our Facebook page down below that's shown on the stream. So facebook.com/Apex Esports League, and then you can head over to our group there, join in, and you can also get the Apex Esports League app, and it has all the links for that there as well. So if you search on the Android store for Apex Esports League, you will find that. But it was some very exciting racing tonight, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that follow button and follow our Facebook page to see what the results are, what penalties may have been given, and who our championship winner is. And thanks for tuning in, and hopefully see you next week.